Alright, so this way Django confirms that our development environment is fully functional by displaying this message. Now this message also means that we have no specified URL. We will add two URLs to our file. URL, open parenthesis, R, single quote, dollar, single quote, tample, single quote, tasks, manager, views, index, page, close parenthesis, URL, open parenthesis, R, single quote, hat, index, dollar, single quote, comma, single quote, tasks, manager, views, index, page, single quote, close parenthesis. So in the URLs that we enter, we define the first parameter, which is a regular expression that we will validate the URL. So we're going to discuss the second argument in the following section. So let's go back to our browser and refresh the page with the F5 key. Django will display a view does not exist at /error. Well, this means that our module does not yet exist. Now, you've got to study your errors, right? So in this example, we had an error, of course. So with this error, we will just go right to fix the exact part that does not work. Now, another problem that we regularly encounter is the 404 page not found error. You can also generate it just by typing http://localhost:8000/test404 as a URL in our browser. And this error means that no URL has been validating the test404 string. Right, so you just got to pay attention to errors, because seeing and resolving it's going to save you a lot of time. All right, let's create our first view. So now that we've created our URL and had it interpreted by the routing system, we must ensure that a view, which is a controller in the MVC pattern, meets the customer's demand. So this is the function of the second parameter of the URLs present in URLs.py. Now, this parameter will define the method that will play the role of a view, so to speak. So let's take, for example, our first URL. Now, first off, as we've seen earlier when we were studying regular expressions, this URL will be valid only if we browse the localhost 8000 URL. So the second parameter in URL means that in the index.py file, there's a method called page that will process the request. The index.py file is located in the views package at the root of the tasks manager application. So when we want a folder to be recognized as a package by Python, we need to create a folder that contains blank init blank.py file that we can leave blank. Alright, so you can choose another structure to store your views as well. You must choose a structure that best fits your project. Having a long-term vision of your project, in fact, is a great way to define quality architecture from the very first line of code. Beginning with the end in mind, I think, is the expression. So, in our index.py file, we will create a method called page. So this method will return an HTML page to the client. So you see how this works, right? The page is being returned by the HTTP protocol. So we will use the HTTP response function and its information. So the argument of this HTTP response function returns the HTML content that we will return to the browser. So to simplify reading this example, we do not use a proper HTML structure because we just return hello world to the client, as shown in this code here, #star-coding:/UTF-8-star-. from Django.http import HTTP response. Slash view for index page. Def page, open parenthesis, request, close parenthesis, colon, return, HTTP response, open parenthesis, double quotes, hello world, bang, double quotes, close parenthesis. Now you might be able to tell in the previous example, we added a comment before our page method, and comments are actually very important. They'll just help you understand your code very quickly. And we also set the encoding of the UTF-8 characters, so this will improve our application's compatibility with other languages. Okay. Now, we do not necessarily indicate that later in the course, but I do think it's advisable to use it. Get that, right? So, let's test our first page. So we're going to have to use the run server command, which we saw earlier in this section. And to do this, we must run the command and refresh your page, http://localhost:8000, right there in our browser. Now, if you see Hello World appear in your browser without an error, it means that you have followed the previous steps. If you happen to have forgotten something, just don't hesitate to find your error right out there on the internet. There's lots of errors out there, right? Anyway, others have probably been through the same thing. However, what we've got to do is improve our view, because at the moment we do not respect the MVC model. See that? So what we're going to do is create a template to separate the HTML and Python code and have a bit more flexibility. So that's it for this. In this section, to recap, we study the basics of regular expressions. It's a powerful tool to use in order to manipulate strings successfully. And we learn how to manipulate the system routing URL. We also created our first view, and that returns a string to the client. So that means in the next section, we're going to learn how to create maintainable templates with Django. So I want to see you in the next lesson. Have a nice day.